Franks, are you my baking partner? Are you? Are you my baking partner? Because you just smelled the peanut butter? Okay. I'm going to make some sourdough bread. Norwex. Okay. So how we're going to start is we're going to get our scale, turn it on, bowl up on there, and we're going to tear it off. We're going to start with our starter. We're going to go with 50 grams of starter. I'm going to use this nice wooden spoon. We're going to scoop that nice bubbly out into our bowl. That looks about 50 to me. 50. Perfect. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add our water to that. So we're going to tear this again. We're going to add 350 grams of water. Okay, so there's 350 grams. So now we're just going to mix this up, this water and the starter here. Just going to mix this up gently, get it all incorporated in the water. Sometimes it's going to look a little maybe soapy, is what my teacher told me, my teacher Katie. And I'll give it just a little light stir right there and see how it gets a little frothy. Okay, that looks good. That's what we're going to go with right there. Okay. Now we're going to put this back on the scale. And we're going to tear this again. And now we're going to add our flour. So we're going to use this and we're going to put 500 grams of flour in. Let's sprinkle that in. This is King Arthur unbleached. Okay, 500 grams of flour. Now we're going to add 10 grams of salt, or about a teaspoon. There's 10 grams. Okay. Now we're all good there. You can set the scale aside. And we're going to mix this up. And just mix it all in until all of the flour is incorporated in the water. I'm going to set this down so I can get this mixed. And you can see it afterward. And it's looking pretty good. It's looking like I got the water and the flour kind of mixed together there. Okay. This looks good. So your initial rest is going to be an hour. Okay. From this raggedy look. You're going to cover this with a piece of saran. Okay. That looks good. So I'll show you this. Sticky flour. Sticky flour. Okay. So here we go. This looks really good. So this is all kind of raggedy looking. I got it just scraped off the sides in a little ball like this. And that's how you want it. Looks good. Okay. So we're going to cover this with a piece of saran. I reuse my saran in the time of the coronavirus and you don't want to go to the store too often. You just reuse things. No big deal. So I just get this so I can put this over the saran over it just to keep it moist. I feel like when I don't, it gets a little bit too dry. And then I want to keep this nice and warm for proofing. So I put it in the dining room if my kitchen's not warm enough. I like it to be 68 to 70. And I will take a towel and put a towel over it as well. So then we'll let that rest for an hour. So you just cover it like that, and then you set it somewhere kind of warm, and we're gonna let it rest for an hour. Okay, it's time for our first fold. Okay, here's our dough. See how it looks? Filled out, looks nice. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here with this is we're gonna fold it, stretch and fold. I like to spritz with a little bit of water on my hands, and maybe a little around the edge of the dough. This prevents it from sticking. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go to the edge, pull up, and fold over. Nice and gently. Pull up, fold over. Around the edge, pull up, fold over. Pull up, fold over. You're going to feel the dough starting to get firmer, smoother. And you're just going to do this around the bowl for like, 20 times, 16 or 20 times, whatever, when your dough starts to feel, just peel up, fold over. That's nice and getting firm. Just a couple more times. Feels good. Feels good. Feels absorbed, it's smoother, it's a little firmer. What this looks like. This is the first one, the first folds. So nice and smooth. You can see, firm. And now we're going to cover this and we're going to leave it for like an hour and a half. And we're going to let it rest, and it's going to start to proof up and ferment a bit. And what I usually do also is just give it a little spritz of water just to keep it moist before I cover it up with the saran and the towel. Okay, we're back now to do another fold. So this would be our second fold, I guess. Our first fold was our 16 to 20 folds from the rough dough to the ball, and now this is what has happened. And I've kept it in the oven with the oven light on, and it was about 76 degrees, 78. It looks good. There's some bubbles forming. I can smell it. It's working nicely. So we're going to do another fold. So let's spritz my hand. Looks good. Spritz the edge a little. And here we go. I'm going to go in. Oh yeah, even the dough feels warm. Pull up, fold over. In, pull up, fold over, nice and gentle. It's nice. Tell it's building a lot of good structure here. Feels good. Feels good. And then that's it. We're just going to do those 4 folds this time. And this is what it looks like. It's pretty firm. It's coming along good. And I'm just going to give it another little spritz of water. That's it. This is the towel. Put it in the oven. Again. And this is what we have here, just the oven light on. So we'll let this rest again. We'll set the timer for 2 hours and we'll be back. Okay, there's Billy, my other baking partner. Okay, we're back. It's 3:30, it's been 2 hours. This has been proofing in the oven with just the oven light on. It looks pretty good. We're going to do another series of stretch and folds. Then we're going to let it go for another 2 hours, and then we should be able to ready for our final. This is what it looks like. You can see that there's some air bubbles coming up now. So it is, the yeast is working. It's expanded. Looks good. Spray bottle. Get my hands moist. A little bit around the edge. And here we go. Ooh, it feels good. Feels warm. Good and elasticy. Super sticky. Sticky icky. As Rachel would say, the real sticky icky. Okay, that's a nice fluff ball. That feels good. Yeah, feels real good. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna cover it. You go another hour, and I'm gonna check it. Another hour, and I'm gonna check it and see where we're at. Might be ready then. Okay, cover it up. Saran. Towel back over. Got some good size to it. Back in we go. And yeah, the oven is at 76-ish with the oven light on. Okay, see you in 1 hour. Okay, watch out, Bubba. Back, it's just over an hour, actually. I got a little sidetracked. Oh, it looks good. Okay. So, take one pause here. I'll show you how it looks. It looks pretty good. Bubbles in there, you can see. Okay. Let me get some water on my finger. Oh, sticky. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I feel like we need a little bit more. So I'm going to leave it for 1 more hour. I'm going to cover it up. That would have been 2 hours. And go from there. See what it looks like in 1 more hour. And hopefully it will puff up a little bit more and be a little more pillowy. I mean, it's not too bad right now. It's pretty jiggly, but I feel like I want to, a little bit more. Okay. Okay, we're back. And now we're going to do our pre-shape. A little bit out on the top. And then we're going to dump it out of the bowl. Okay. This. Okay, looks good. See, it smells good. Okay. There we go. Out of the bowl. Okay. Okay, we're gonna kind of push some flour under here. Make sure it's not sticking to the table. And then we're gonna pre-shape this. Oop. It's not sticky on top, so okay, this is gonna be our pre-shape. Just like our other folds. Okay? Just now we're doing it with flour, not water. Okay, hands up. And we're just gonna lift this up and fold it over. And we're gonna lift this up. It's nice and light and airy. Fold it over. We're gonna lift this up, fold it over. We're gonna lift this up, fold it over, and then we're gonna roll that in. Looks good. It's nice, light, airy. Looks really good. And we're just gonna tighten this up. A little bit of flour because you don't want it to stick here to the counter. Just tighten this up. There we go. Nice and light. See, it's like, see how bouncy and light? Nice. Okay. Now we're going to let it stay here for an hour. And then we're going to come back and do the final shape. Okay. Right here. Make sure we get a little bit of flour on top that doesn't stick to the towel. Put that over. And on we go. Okay, we're back. And now we're going to do our final shaping and put it in our proofing basket. So it looks good. It's nice and light and airy. Okay. So I didn't show you, I did this. This is the proofing basket, and all I did was dust it pretty heavily with some rice flour. Any flour, rice flour is better, but use whatever flour you have and just dust it really well so it doesn't stick to anything, okay? Just gonna do a little bit of dusting, and then I'm just gonna flip this right over, okay? Nice and gentle. I'm just gonna flip it right over, okay? Good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape this. Sarah D's calling me. Stand by. Well, she'll have to wait, actually. So let me just shape this. So I'm just going to stretch this out a little bit, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this into a loaf. So I'm going to take this, just pull it up, and fold it over real light, okay? I'm going to pull this out, and again, pull that over real light. These two ends here should be kind of sticky, but nope, that didn't work. We're going to shape it this way, actually. We're going to fold this in, and we're just going to lightly pinch up and push in, pinch up and push in, pinch up, push in, pinch up, push in, just like that, all the way down. Now there's a lot of bubbles, a lot of air in this. I'm just going to pop those big bubbles, okay? Squeeze this all together without really doing too much damage. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a dusting, and I'm going to push it together, and I'm going to roll it over. This side is going to be the bottom that's going to go in my basket, okay? It looks pretty good, okay? It's still light and fluffy. Top side down, fold side up. Into the basket. It's a little bit big. A little bit big and light and airy. Got a lot of air in here. Okay, there it is in the basket. It's pretty full. So I'm just going to cover it up and put it in the refrigerator. I'm going to get this bread in after yesterday. I made it during the morning time. I got it in the proofing basket around 5 o'clock. And now I'm going to bake it. I'm getting it out of the banneton now. Don't stick too much. Yeah, so pulled up on the sides. That's okay. It'll work out. Okay, there's my loaf. Yeah, that looks good. Looks nice. We'll brush off some of the flour there. It's nice and proofed. I don't know, this razor doesn't seem to be too sharp, as sharp as I would like it. Okay. Get that in there. Be afraid to get in there. Give this bread some room to expand, which it will. Okay. There, that looks good. That's going to be beautiful. Okay. Put that aside. And then put it together like that. And I reuse my parchment paper until I can't anymore. So twice definitely, sometimes 3 times. Oh yeah, that opened up nice. I'm going to actually take a little bit of this everything bagel spice and put it right in the crack there and see what happens. Put some right in the cracks. Let's see what happens with that. Just give it a try. Right in the crack. Opened up wide, so why not? Okay. Cold cookie sheet tray. We're gonna put the hot pot on so that the bottom doesn't get too dark on this. But we're going in anyway. The oven's been preheating for an hour at least, hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to dump this fried parchment paper into the hot pot. Ooh, looks good. Perfect. And there. Ooh, almost grabbed that lid. Sometimes I do this, is I take my spritz bottle and my lid and spray it just to get the steam created. A little head start. And then on top of the sheet tray and in the oven. 450, 40 minutes. 40 minutes, set a timer, and in 40 minutes we will come back and we will take the lid off and see what it looks like, and hopefully it's all nice and puffed up and a good color. And I'm gonna assume it's gonna be a little light, and we'll take the lid off and we'll cook it for another 10 minutes with the lid off, and that will get it a nice brown color, and it should be delicious. Okay, I'll be back in 40. Yeah, this is the part that I forgot to do. Oh, that looks amazing. Oh, that looks good. Ooh, that looks good. That looks really good. Oh, I smell the garlic and okay, yeah. It's the best. Okay, here I am again. I got Tegan and we're going to the pot. Look at that baby. That's beautiful. Gosh, this smells awesome. And where I sprinkled the everything spice, this came up nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that came up real nice. And that's where I sprinkled the spice. So it opened up real wide. Got a nice ear here. Let's take a look at the bottom. Woo. See, a little dark, but
That's good.
that's how 450 degrees feels on your hand. Now we're going to take this beautiful loaf that I put into the proofing basket yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry, this morning. And it's been in there since probably, oh, mercy sakes, early. 8 o'clock maybe. This one I added some everything bagel spice to. And you can see it in there. So we're going to transfer this into the Dutch oven, and then we're going to bake it. So this is the step. The thing we're going to do is get a piece of parchment paper. Big enough to fit inside of the Dutch oven. And I've had the oven preheating for an hour with the Dutch oven in it. And I took the temperature of it. Well, that's a little small, but we're going to go with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to dump this loaf out onto this parchment paper right out of the basket. I'm sure it'll come right out nice and easy. Oh yeah, beautiful. There it is. Okay, she looks good. I'll show you right there. Okay, looks good. So now we're going to score it before we put it in the pan. A place to rise. So that's my score for that one. Okay. So I get the pot out of the oven, and I have a cold cookie sheet tray, which is we're going to set it on because the bottom of the pot gets really hot and sometimes it burns. So this is nice hot. Close that up, keep the heat in there. We're going to pick this up by the parchment, and we're just going to set it right inside of the pot. There we go. Whew, hot. Just inside of the pot, just like that. Take the lid and put it right on there. Now this lid is going to help this steam in there when that starts releasing some steam out of the bread. Now this hot pot goes on top of the cold cookie sheet tray, and that goes into the oven. This is going to bake with the lid on for 40 minutes. So I'm going to set a timer. In 40 minutes we'll be back and we'll take the lid off of that pot, and if it looks like it needs some browning, we'll leave the lid off. If it looks like it's browning nicely, we'll leave the lid on. So we'll see you back here in 40. Okay, so I took the lid off my 10 minutes and it's looking really great. It needs some more color, so I'm going to leave the lid off for the remaining 10 minutes, and then when I take it out I'll be back, but it's looking really good. It's looking superb. Okay, here's the final product. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh. Turn that off. It's beautiful. Yep. And look at that. Okay, let me pull it out. It's a beauty. That is a beauty. There she is. They're beautiful. Okay. That's all she wrote.